You've probably been told often that having a high basketball IQ is an important part of being a great player. Hell, I've talked about this in countless videos because my high IQ is one of the main reasons I'm able to continue to play this game at the professional level. For some of you, maybe even a lot of you, your high basketball intelligence could be the thing that's actually holding you back from scoring more points. And as much as you might not want to hear it, scoring is the most important asset you can have if you want to play this game at the college level. So let's talk about this uncomfortable truth when it comes to scoring more points, and then I'll show you 4 specific situations where you can use your high IQ to your advantage instead of it being something that actually holds you back. Also, let me know in the comments what areas of your game you feel like you can be more aggressive this upcoming season. So I had a teammate in high school who was an incredibly smart player. He could read plays before they happened with the best of them. He knew where everyone on the court should be at all times and almost never made mistakes. Basically, the kid was a coach's dream and got a lot of minutes because of it. However, he almost never looked to score. He was constantly passing up good shots to look for a great one. And in New Jersey, where I went to high school, we didn't have a shot clock, so there was really no incentive for him to be aggressive to score for himself. So although he was often the smartest player on the court, he was also one of the least threatening. This is the trap I see high IQ players falling into. You get so good at analyzing the game and making the right decision that you actually hurt your reputation. And your coach likely won't say anything because in their eyes, you're helping the team, you're making everyone better. Which, don't get me wrong, you are. You're just not helping your own chances of getting recruited. I've talked to so many college coaches over the years, and they all tell me that when they are recruiting, they are looking for certain qualities. They want players who hustle, who have a good attitude, who make all the little plays. So a high school player might hear that and think, okay, I just have to focus on those things and I can play in college. Unfortunately, no, that's not how it works. The uncomfortable truth is if you're not some sort of offensive threat, you'll never get recruited. I'll say the only outlier would be like a 7-foot big man who gets every rebound and blocks every shot. Otherwise, you gotta put the ball in the hoop. And this is a reality at basically every level of the game from high school on. I'm kind of struggling to make the right next step in my pro career right now. And part of that is because I'm being picky and I want to find the right situation. But honestly, part of that is simply because I didn't score enough last year. I led my team in rebounds, steals, was second in assists, played the most minutes, and we won a ton of games. Sounds pretty good, and yet this offseason teams have overlooked me simply because I only averaged 10 points a game. I actually averaged 9.7, and believe me, I think about if I had just gotten to 10, would I be looked at differently, but that's another story. Again, this isn't the exciting or comfortable thing to talk about, but it's the truth. So I take responsibility for that, and I'm mentally focused on proving to everyone I can score more next year. But I'm being overlooked in places I know I can play, I know I can be effective because of scoring. I don't want the same thing to happen to you, especially if you're a hardworking player who has the talent to play in college. That's the thing. High level scoring isn't only about talent. It's a combination of your talent, your mentality, and your IQ. Oh, and the player I mentioned on my high school team, I was basically talking about me. Not exactly the same because in my last few years of high school, I was definitely a scoring threat. But for a long time on my school and AAU teams, I took pride in being a pass-first player. So let's look at 4 situations that happen in almost every game where you can be more aggressive while continuing to use your high IQ. Quickly, I know a lot of you young hoopers struggle with confidence. So I've recently put together an extended course on how to create real, unshakable confidence in your game. This framework also comes with a playbook you can print or fill out online with exercises and questions that will hopefully change the way you approach the mental side of the game. More info in this video's description. So I always talk about how you gotta look to score more in transition. There are easy points you aren't getting in every game if you're not looking to be aggressive on the break. But I don't talk as much about the secondary break, or what I call semi-transition, where the defense is running back but isn't quite set. And in these situations, a lot of high IQ players will just pull the ball out and run a set instead of trying to force something. But I think these situations are great for attacking. A lot of times you can catch the defense off guard. Attacking players understand that an unsettled defense is the most vulnerable, so they try to take advantage of these moments. Sometimes the defense will be cross-matched so you can attack a defender out of position. At times, no one will stop the ball, which is ideal. This is where you have to be looking for your shot if you're a shooter or a chance to get downhill. Basically, you use your high IQ to manipulate the already reeling defenders and make something happen. Then, if you get nothing out of it, you can always dribble the ball back out and run that same play. But at least you tried to attack, and easy points are hiding in these semi-transition opportunities, I promise you. The second place I think intelligent players hold themselves back is when their coach calls out a set or a play. A lot of players are scared to break off what the coach calls out and wants the team to run. They think the right thing to to do is just go to the correct spot and make the correct pass. But in these situations, you can really turn into a robot and become so predictable. An aggressive, smart player understands that a set play is a framework, but not a script. Its purpose is to create advantages, and they are constantly hunting for those advantages for themselves. Like in this play, I come off the Iverson screen and catch on the left wing. The play says for me to come off this ball screen to the middle, try and make a play, or move it to the next side of the floor. But I notice I have a favorable matchup and I feel like I can beat him baseline, which I do. The interesting thing about this play is that there isn't much risk in trying to reject it. If he cuts me off, I can still use the ball screen and run the play. But because I break it off, we get an easy layup early in the possession. These are the situations you should always be looking for. Now look at this scenario, where we run the same play and I don't try and reject. I don't even wait for the screen and we get nothing. Here I was a robot, and a bad robot at that. So don't be afraid to break off a play every once in a while if it leads to an aggressive attack. Especially in high school, when teams run these long, drawn out plays with 15 passes and all this false motion, I get so frustrated. You aren't getting better and your team isn't even scoring, so go make something happen. Let's talk about ball screens. Many high IQ players use ball screens with one goal in mind: make a play for someone else. Believe me, I get this. I love nothing more than getting one of my teammates an easy bucket. You come off the screen and immediately look for the rolling big man or the shooter in the corner. But again, ball screens are an amazing time to be aggressive for yourself. Your first read should be, how can I get to the rim? Not only will this create more points for you, but also more assists. If you're aggressive to score, the defense has to help onto you, which actually is the thing that will create more open shots for your teammates. If you're passive, there will be less of these assisting opportunities. And get good at manipulating the defender. A lot of high IQ guards will use the screen, and if the defense goes under, they'll just move the ball, thinking the play is dead. But it's not. You can get your big to set it lower or at a different angle and keep your dribble alive to try and create an advantage. You must be persistent to get what you want. And not looking to score on ball screens often leads to turnovers. I clearly have an easy floater here, but instead try to pass it out and it gets picked off. A missed shot is almost always better than a turnover. So as an aggressive guard, start using the pick and roll with your primary read being, how can I score? Again, more assists will actually come out of this. All right, if you want to play in college, then most likely you will have to be the best player on your high school team. And if you're calling yourself the best player on your high school team, then in every end of shot clock or quarter or game situation, you need to get the ball. Stop worrying about your percentages. I get it. These situations might call for a tougher shot. I don't care. It's a chance for you to make a play and create a shot for yourself, which is an incredibly valuable skill. Plus, in high school, percentages don't really matter. Like, yes, we all want to be efficient, but I don't remember what I shot from 2 or 3 when I was a junior in high school. Even if you miss in these situations, going up and calling for the ball at the end of the clock looks so high level. Let's say hypothetically a college coach has come to watch you play. If you're sitting in the corner watching one of your teammates try to get a bucket with the clock running out, that looks so weak. But if you go get the ball and either call up your big for a little ball screen or just clear everyone out, I don't care if you miss badly, you stand out. So instead of thinking I'm smart because I'm not taking a bad shot and messing with my percentages, go get the ball and start thinking I'm smart because a tough contested shot from me is still a better look than a panicked heave from one of my teammates. This is how you will start seeing the game when you take responsibility and become a score first player. And like I've mentioned in this entire video, it will lead to easier shots for your teammates anyway. So it's not selfish, it's actually unselfish to go get the ball. Look guys, having a high IQ can be a really great asset, but I really believe if it's not paired with an attacking mindset, then you're only going to be able to reach half of your potential. So look to score first. This is what helps you get noticed in the recruitment process and also helps your team win more games. Of course, like I always say, you must be putting in the work to earn this role for your team. As you all know, I strongly believe in the mental side of the game, and we worked really hard on the Unshakable Confidence course to make it as detailed and beneficial for all of you. So please go check it out. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will talk to you soon.